Good morning, my friends. Hope everybody's doing well. It's another one of these editions of It Is What It Is, brought to you by yours truly, me. And what I'm going to talk about knife fighting. And a lot of people talk about knife fighting in the martial arts, in the tactical world, and security world, and they usually base themselves on the systems that came out of the Philippines, which are great systems, great styles, or Indonesia and all that area. But there remnants of colonialism that was left there and continued to flow and develop? I believe so. Um, is there any remnants of the Spanish knife fighting in other parts of the world? I believe there is. And I've seen some of it. I'm from Texas and in South Texas, and we had certain patterns like the libélula and the frelon and stuff that we use, especially with the sacatripas and stuff that we use with, the lengua de gallo and some of the other knives that we use in this area that were taught by my uncles and other people that were around then. But I'm not talking about that right now. I'm talking about stylistic nuances that you can tell come directly from Spanish influence. Okay? You have a lot of recreation martial artists now that are coming up with systems by reading old books, old fencing manuals, old books, and trying to see how they um, did it then. And they use the fencing background because that's the closest of the reference. And they do that. They have that lead stance, that stance, that fighting stance, whether you're in fencing, lacan, savate, or boxing, you're always going to stay that way. It's not going to be crossing over leg after leg. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to be on your toes. You're going to have that mobility. When you start seeing those things in stylistic fights in certain areas, in certain small villages throughout Latin America, you can tell that there was influences. The next two videos that I'm going to post, and I'm going to post one right here, it was taken in Bogota. It's knife fighters. Those knife fight. Believe me. Look at the way their stances are. Look at the way the one is protecting himself with a kind of like a cloak. These are systems that were taught to others, that were enforced. This is what you do. They were forced to be trained that way. Okay? I remember one of a police officer here in Laredo that used to train with my uncle, and we used to nickname him El Gorupo, and he passed away, and he would explain to us all, in his later years, how they used to wrap their jacket and their shirt in one arm and have a knife in the other when they fought. And he said this openly in one of the exams of Savat back in 2004 or 5, around that era. And he used to tell us that how it was done. I remember he had a lot of conversations when I brought down Carlito. We were at dinner and they were talking about knife fighting and how he used to hold one blade down and one blade up to fight. So if they grabbed you, they'll cut themselves. And it's amazing that those knife fighters existed, and it was a dear friend of my uncle, and they knew each other. They had a lot of respect for each other. And what I'm saying is, these stylistic nuances come from Spanish fencing or European fencing. Can be French, can be Spanish, can be Italian. People say, oh no, it's only the Spaniards that did it. They all came over to the Americas. Okay, they all moved over here. They all had different ways of holding blades. They all had that same lead leg movement as you see in the video. Now there's another video that they sent me from that area, and this is from Bogota area. Okay, so there has to be some type of knife fighting system or style, not system, a style that is in that area that's going on. Look at the way he's using his cloak. Using his jacket or his poncho on his left hand to move while he has a blade of the other hand. He's not, people might say, oh, he's drunk, he's just playing around. I don't think he's playing around. I think he understands what he's doing. Anyway, we leave it with that, and just keep an open eye. Look at the footwork when you look at videos. Look at what they're doing, subtleties. Kind of reference them back, you know. If you want to train in recreation, knife, sword fencing, or what have you, knife fighting from European era, that's your prerogative. If you want to train boxing, train boxing. You want to train in eskrima. There's many, many, many different great martial artists in that of the Filipino side of the martial arts that are out there. You know, everywhere else. You know, but be careful because there's a lot of fighters out there that never took any formal training except their backyards or through their family gatherings, and they're very, very dangerous. Until next time, much peace.